How's it going, everyone? The B2E Reaper. My goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading, whether the price is going up or down. Play to earn is not dead, but game publishers are looking for alternatives. The play to earn business model may not be dead, but game publishers and developers are exploring alternatives to replace it, according to a panel at NFT NYC 2023. It's a model that is not sustainable at all, claiming Axie Infinity Shift in some of the flagship titles as an example. This is the CEO of gaming platform OP Games, Chase Frio. So he was on a group with people, I'm assuming that's him talking right there, and he was explaining that it's not a sustainable model, which is true because people will run out of games right away. So game companies are now looking at play and fun, and sometimes earn or swap, adding that players will still earn tokens and rewards, but publishers and developers are more focused on being sustainable and flexible. Alternatives flourishing in the industry include marketplaces and partnerships that allow players to return tokens to the game ecosystem instead of playing and liquidating them, the panelists noted. And they said more companies right now are trying to make sure that games have a really good core loop that enables this player to put back whatever they earn into the game. So the major pivot point here is that game companies are turning away from play to earn, where you just earn coins for playing and then you sell it, and that just is guaranteed lower drops. The more the coins are sold, the lower the asset goes, and eventually it's just not worth playing. So they're going away from that model by getting assets that are reusable or can be used in different games amongst the ecosystem. So if they come out with a new game or they have an open world game, you can use it cross games or from one game to another. Speaking of which, Roblox adds rare resellable digital items, but they're not NFTs. There's just one difference between them. It looks like an NFT, it's issued like an NFT, and it resells like an NFT, but alas, it's not one. Roblox, the dominant online gaming platform, recently rolled out a new class of wearable virtual goods that can be sold in limited quantities by third-party creators. The goods, called limiteds, can also be resold by Roblox users at any price of their choosing, with a 10% cut of each secondary sale going to the original creator. So the original creator gets a bit of a royalty for resales. There's only one major catch that makes the Roblox Limiteds fundamentally different from NFTs. Besides the lack of Web3 mix, they also can't leave Roblox. Users can only access Roblox issued virtual assets within the game while playing it. So that's a little different than what we just covered. Adding scarcity to our marketplace is a key element of creating healthy marketplace dynamics that benefit creators, buyers, and sellers alike. It seems like they might be a little behind here, because if Roblox ever becomes not so popular and the game starts to die off, these assets will eventually die off as well, and the company doesn't currently have a way for that to roll over, since it has to stay within Roblox. 598 million in Ethereum still waiting on updated withdrawal credentials, nascent. I told you people there were some people affected, and we did not highlight any of this, so that's helpful. The latest Chappelle upgrade executed, developers have again demonstrated that it's possible to swap out key parts of the 252 billion rocket mid-flight. The last time they pulled off such a feat was September with the merge. Unfortunately, the same can't be said for the 18.5% Ethereum network validators that don't have correct validator credentials. Per data from Nascent Analytics, 106,219 validators holding 284,268 Ethereum on the network have yet to hear a good Chappelle word. This means that 596 million of today's prices won't be able to pull out their money of the system, not until they update their credentials. So they're going to have to update their addresses and stuff before they're able to access these, and hopefully we don't have like lost wallets or anything. Trying to scan if there's anything more important here. Yeah, so it could be some loss, because it's talking about one key detail revolves around the recent action against Kraken to shutter its staking service in the US. When examining entities have signaled that they will exit the network, the San Francisco-based exchange makes a whopping 50% of the demand that's pretty much being not filled right now. So there is some loss there. So not everyone's able to withdraw out of the network, and maybe we won't see everyone withdraw because you got Kraken, you got FTX, you got different exchanges that went under through the last 2 years. A lot happened. So a lot of those people that may have been locked in those areas may not be able to get out. So onto the charts now. Our dominance is continuing to fall. We did break past that support area. We are testing the bottom of what would be this range if you drew a box here. So we are kind of getting close to testing that. We have a bearish divergence on momentum. Momentum's coming down. Stochastic's heading down. Have a red X on momentum that confirmed. Money flow's coming out, starting to stagnate. But our VWAP is heading down pretty strongly. So overall, we're looking pretty bearish for money flow here, excuse me. For total, we are getting a little bit more of a pump for our altcoins, but not that strong of a pump. Would have liked to see more. It is a long lower shadow candle though. So that does say we could try and move up. We did have a long upper shadow candle. So that's good to see a long lower shadow and validate that. But we may not be in this range for too much longer here. Stochastic somewhat heading up. It tried to cross but invalidated that. RSI is somewhat starting to roll off. Momentum's coming up, VWAP's trying to come up, so our medium term's trying to come up. Our momentum for our price action is coming up, but that could start to roll over soon, so I'd exercise caution. And the money flow, how many people have their money locked in, is starting to come down. So I'd be a little weary of that. We're going to try and cover a more in-depth video of what all these little parts mean sometime this weekend. We're not going to go into lower time frames for the total either, but is going up slightly currently, but it could get a bit of a cool off. So what happened here? So our Fibonacci looks like it got moved. That will not let me grab it. Don't know how that got turned off there. So now we have a red doji candle kind of falling away from resistance here, not very strongly, but we are starting to fall away back toward this pattern. RSI is trying to head up, but we are pretty overbought, so we don't have any room to go. We have a double red dot forming, momentum starting to curl down, money flows overall heading down, and our VWAP is slightly bearish, so overall we're pretty bearish here, and we could start to roll over. Over on the 4-hour, money flow overall is pretty flat, not really going anywhere. VWAP's trying to make higher lows, tried to cross bullish, rejected away, and is currently trying to head back up again. RSI is overall losing ground here very slightly, and our stochastic has lost all its strength and is beaten down pretty oversold. So our RSI is likely to continue. Our momentum's starting to fall down pretty strongly and is about to break bearish. You can kind of see it right there. So we are pretty bearish looking on this 4-hour. We do have a descending triangle that we drew from earlier. Believe it is on the Twitter update. That could break us to this bottom support. And that could be the beginning of our breakdown to fill that gap we were talking about a few days ago. If we look over at the 2-hour, we kind of broke out of this, broke away. We could kind of move this down, straighten this out a little bit. Maybe we'll trade a little bit more, but still can break out. Money flows overall starting to round down, so that's not a very good sign. RSI is losing strength. Our stochastic is trying to recover, so that's good for us. Our VWAP is trying to come up, and our momentum's trying to come up with the green dot. So if these signals can continue into the medium to higher time frames, then that would be bullish for us. Over on the 1 hour, our stochastic tried to cross bearish, kind of rejected away and continued to move up. Our RSI is pointing down, our money flow is getting close to that neutral zone, so watch out. Our VWAP is trying to head up, so the medium term has some strength, but if that money flow doesn't start to curl away, we could see that kind of roll over. Momentum's trying to push up with the green dot, but this wave's looking like we could start to curl over and fall away. We are within this triangle, so be wary as it is more descending than symmetrical, so it could break us down. Over on graph, which I tried to buy on my ledger, but you're not able to, you have to transfer it to your ledger. Our stochastic is heading up, RSI is heading up, momentum wave's heading up, VWAP is pretty stagnant overall. Money flow tried to cross bullish, but doesn't really know where it wants to go. So we could get a bit of a retracement here, at which point we might retest this triangle. That's why I haven't deleted it yet. And if we do come back into the triangle, then it's likely we could retest the support resistance area that we had for quite some time. So we'll kind of delete this, don't need to look at those, and those are our two supports right now. Well, besides this major one. Over on the 4 hour, don't know why I clicked on ankr right away. Our RSI is making bearish divergence for a stochastic, falling down. RSI is losing strength, trying to head up, but with that stochastic falling, it could start to point downwards. Momentum's starting to point down with the double red dot here, so that's not good. Our money flow overall is pretty weak, but is in the bullish zone. Did try to break bearish and rejected and came back up, so that is good overall. VWAP is coming down, so the medium term we are losing strength, so keep that in mind. Over on the 2 hour, we have our momentum is highlighting all sorts of divergences. Stochastic's highlighting divergences coming down pretty sharply. RSI is trying to curl up despite that fact, but it's likely not to keep that curl if we keep falling with stochastic. Money flow is starting to head down and coming out, so that is a cause for concern. And our VWAP, it was heading down, but it's trying to recover, so keep an eye on that. If that can recover and we can bounce off this support here, that would be a good sign for us. Over on the 1 hour, money flow is coming out the last few candles overall. Stochastic's pretty beat down, momentum's trying to get a green dot, so we do have a hope for a recovery, kind of curl away here. We'll have to watch that stochastic and our momentum pretty closely. VWAP's trying to break bullishly, so if this can continue, it can push into our other time frames and give them some life. RSI is kind of flat, so we'll need that to curl up and come up, but that stochastic needs to get some more strength for that to happen. So overall, we're a little indecisive here. If we break this support, we may start to flash bearish signs, at which point we may lose this area, as we've been ranging around for a while. And if Bitcoin starts to lose, we may see the altcoins start to lose, as they did get a little separate pump. So I did buy some ankr today, since that is available on the ledger. So if you want to see that second crypto video, intro to crypto video is out there. So watch that, go to that playlist and watch it. Momentum's overall heading up. I'm not saying buy ankr, I'm just saying this is one of the coins you can buy on it, and I did buy it. So just full disclosure, I do have a holding in it now. Money flow is kind of rejecting away from the neutral zone. VWAP's trying to head up, momentum's heading up, RSI and our stochastic are trying to head up. So we're looking alright for a little bit of a bounce. We did break above this high value area. So if we don't hold some candles and add some green momentum into these bars here, then it's likely that we could start to fall away here. I don't know why this is so light looking. But if we don't get some more momentum in here with some green bars and we just continue having all this red, that's pretty hard to see, I'll have to fix that, then it's likely we could start to fall away from here. That's why I'm not saying, hey, buy some just because I bought some. I didn't buy some just because it was a good spot. I just bought some to demonstrate how to buy it on the ledger and because I wanted to diversify a little. Not because I saw the price point as a great price point to enter, but it is a decent project in my opinion. Not financial advice. Stochastic's trying to head up, RSI's trying to head up, money flow is rejecting away, so that is cause for concern. VWAP's starting to head down, so that's cause for concern as well. So if these signals start to roll over, then we could lose some ground here. We are in an up channel, so that is a descending pattern. We did break out of it, so we could invalidate it, make some new pattern. We'll have to keep an eye if that happens. Over on the 2 hour, we're going to write down our momentum and our RSI here. Stochastic's about to make a bearish cross. Money flow's flattening out, and our VWAP's getting close to that neutral zone. So the 2 hours looking kind of bearish, like we could roll over here. So exercise some caution if you want to take any profits. 1 hour looks worse. We have red dots everywhere. Momentum's coming down. Stochastic's coming down. RSI is kind of flat. Money flow is holding its ground, so that is good. It is well into the bullish zone, so we'll need that to continue. This VWAP is trying to test this neutral zone and come back bullish after getting a little break bearish. So there is a slight possibility we could get some green dots or something and get a little more of a pump up. We'll kind of have to see. Over on XRP, we are kind of retracing from that big candle we had yesterday. RSI is kind of flat. Stochastic's trying to head up, momentum's curling up, so that's looking decent. Our money flow is heading down, so that's cause for concern as money flow is coming out because there's a lot of FUD again. Our VWAP is rolling over. A lot of people think the case could get delayed for another year, so might have people that are fed up and exiting. But hey, I'll take their coins at this price. Stochastic's heading down, RSI is heading down. VWAP is bearish, so watch out for that. Our money flow is flirting with that bearish zone. If we break this 50 area, maybe that'll be a good point to pick a few hundred or so up. Our money flow is coming out. Stochastic's coming out. Again, that wasn't financial advice, just kind of saying what I might do is more to diversify a little more. I'll have to review what I'm actually going to do as it gets closer. RSI is kind of flatlining, momentum's trying to head up, our VWAP's trying to head up, so we are trying to push up here, so that is good. So we'll have to kind of see if that can continue. Over on the 1 hour, our momentum's getting a green dot and heading up, but it could round off here, so watch out for that. VWAP's heading up pretty strongly, so that's good. Money flow's heading back up strongly, so that's pretty good as we're in the bullish zone. Our Stochastic's heading up and our RSI is heading up. So the 1 hour is looking pretty good here. We did bounce off support. So if we're able to hold this area and continue forward, that would be a good sign to possibly test some other resistance, like where we fell away from here in this 55-cent area. So last but not least, algo on the daily did run up pretty decently again. We are getting a green dot, so that is a signal that we could run up further. Not guarantee. Stochastic's trying to head up, RSI's trying to head up, momentum's trying to head up, VWAP's kind of flattening out, so that's a little worrisome. Our money flow is kind of flat, so again, we have a little bit of people trying to FUD it out, but the FUD's kind of like coming from 1 or 2 people at this point, and their voice is kind of getting stifled as they don't really want to answer any of the community members as to why they're FUDing the project. They just want to say, oh, this project sucks, and not actually say why. At least when I tell you Solana sucks, I tell you it's because it doesn't work. So we are in a bit of an up channel. Stochastic's kind of falling away. RSI is trying to head up. Momentum, or money flow rather, is overall holding its ground in the bullish zone, so that is good for us, but it needs to carry over to that daily. Our VWAP is struggling to gain any momentum. If this starts to flop over, we could see the momentum flop over. That Stochastic's falling, so we may start to see some more signals to some downside. Excuse me real quick. It is empty. Our Stochastic's heading up, RSI's trying to head up on the 2 hour, momentum's coming up with a green dot. Money flow's overall trying to round off here, so that is some cause for concern. And our VWAP is trying to head back up after taking a little bit of a breather here. So we could give a bit of a push on the 2 hour, which could help propel the 4 hour, and hopefully that propels the daily. On the daily we are getting, or 1 hour, not daily, we are getting a red dot here, so that is cause for concern. Our stochastics are running up though, so our RSI might invalidate that red dot and just move away from it. Our momentum could curl away here. We are kind of making a lower high. Price is kind of flat, so not too concerning there. Money flow overall is coming out a little bit the last 2 candles, so that's more the concerning part. And our VWAP's starting to get a bit of a curve, so that could round off and start to fall away, at which point price could follow. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a great night.